Hey everyone, Morgan here. So today we're going to be doing some practice problems. The whole point of today's lesson is how to do math, algebra, significant figures, work with units, all of that. Okay? Just happening to choose density is our tool for doing this. So let's begin. What's the density of an object whose mass is 50.00 grams and whose volume is 25.00 milliliters? I think it's really helpful to underline the givens in the question like that. Okay? So now, density, we know a relationship. It's mass divided by volume. And we have been given both of these things. The mass here is 50.00 grams, and the volume is 25.00 milliliters. Well, 50 divided by 25 is 2, except this has got 4 sig figs, this has got 4 sig figs, so really the arithmetic is 2.000 grams per milliliter. Neither of the units cancel, okay? So we just have a nice ratio here. It's important to understand that that's what density is. It's a ratio of mass to volume. Okay? So, next question. What is the mass of 25.0 milliliters of gold, whose density is 19.32 grams per milliliter? Well, if density is equal to mass divided by volume, then mass must equal density times volume, which equals 19.32 grams per milliliter times 25.00 milliliters, and the milliliters cancel when we multiply those together. So now, going for my calculator here, I have 19.32 times 25.00, and that's 483. But hold on. This has got 4 sig figs. This has got 4 sig figs. So I'm going to need 483.0 grams. And grams is a good unit for mass. Okay? All right. So, third one here. What is the volume? We're looking for volume V of some sand. Its density is that. Its mass is that. So if density is equal to mass over volume, cross multiplying, tells us volume is mass over density. So I have 20.0 grams divided by 3 grams per milliliter. Now, that's grams divided by milliliters, but since it's down here in the in the denominator, okay, grams is downstairs and milliliters goes upstairs, and we see that grams cancels. Okay, so now when I put that into a calculator, I'm going to get like 6.66 repeating milliliters. And the problem is this has 1 sig fig. So really, I have to say approximately 7 milliliters for that to work out. Okay? Now, I'm going to take a second here and talk again about these units, just in case. If I have 1 divided by 1 over x, I know that the x comes upstairs, and that just equals x. Well, if I have 1 divided by grams per milliliter, the milliliter comes upstairs, and that would be milliliters per gram. Okay? All right. So now, let's get a little more involved. We have a solid block. It's aluminum. It's 10 by 5 by 2.00 centimeters each time. The density is 2.70 grams per milliliter. What's the mass of this block? Well, I'm going to need to know its volume. Volume is length times width times height, which equals 10.00 centimeters times 5.00 centimeters times 2.00 centimeters. Now, when I multiply those together, it ends with centimeters cubed. 10 times 5 is 50, and times 2, that's 100. I can have 3 sig figs, so that's 100 centimeters cubed. Now, density is mass over volume. So mass is density times volume. I get that by multiplying that side by V and multiplying that side by V, and those cancel. 2.70 grams over milliliters times. Now, this is 100 centimeters cubed, which is the same thing as saying 100 milliliters. Remember, a centimeter cubed is equal to a milliliter. Okay, milliliter cancels, and this ends up equaling 270, all right, with a decimal point, grams. And that decimal point makes that 0 a significant figure. All right, cool. Now, mercury is used in a barometer. It is 13.59 times denser than water. That means 13.59 grams per milliliter. What volume of mercury has a mass of exactly 1,000 grams? Since I have the word exactly here, that's telling me this has as many significant figures as I need it to have. Density equals mass over volume. Volume would then equal mass divided by density. 1,000 grams over 13.59 grams per milliliter. Boom, boom. And hopefully what you have kind of caught on looking at this is reading the question is really mandatory. Read through it several times if necessary, because it gives you information. 1,000 grams, just as the way it's typed, you might think it was 1 sig fig, but by the word exactly, we know that's as many sig figs as we need. So, 1,000 divided by 13.59, and that gives me 73.58. 73.58 milliliters. That's 4 sig figs based upon the 13.59. Okay, so it's been a math practice day there. Hope you have good luck with it. Everybody have yourselves a good day, and this is Morgan signing off.